Hi, everybody. This is Leighann Lord, and this week's episode of Hanging in There is going to be from a talk that I gave about Star Trek, specifically about the Year of Hell episodes from Star Trek Voyager that aired in 1997, and the lessons that we can learn from it about navigating our own and our collective Year of Hell. So I'm going to screen share, and I hope that you enjoy this. As you guys know, I am a rabid Star Trek fan. I grew up watching reruns of the original series with my mom, and Star Trek made diversity seem normal to me. You know, of course, your cast would be a diverse group of people with different ethnicities, nationalities, species on the bridge of your starship as you go cavorting about the galaxy, hooking up with other aliens, right? That just makes sense. I naturally became a big fan of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which continued the voyages of the Starship Enterprise, this time helmed by Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I adore him. This was followed by Deep Space Nine, which gave us our first Black captain, Captain Benjamin Sisko. I still contend that his name sounds like a drink you would order at the bar. I'll have a Captain Sisko on the rocks, please. What I particularly love about Deep Space Nine is the relationship that we got to see, the father-son relationship between him and his son Jake, and even between him and his own dad, Joseph Sisko. Then there was Star Trek Voyager, which I will focus on in a minute. And then the prequel to all of them, Enterprise, helmed by Captain Jonathan Archer, who most people know as the Quantum Leap guy. Not pictured in this photo as one of the most important members of the cast, Captain Archer's dog, Porthos. He should have been more prominently featured. And I have, of course, continued my love of Star Trek. I've watched the most recent incarnations, Star Trek Discovery, which I absolutely love. Yes, I do, flaws and all. Let's just say they had me at the Vulcan hello. And of course, Picard, who is pictured with his dog in the advertising, who is aptly named number one. Yes, if you are wondering, Jean-Luc Picard is my favorite captain. He's British, he's bald, he's British. I mean, what's not to love here? I guess if because of him, my stripper name would be Earl Grey Hot. Now, last year, and this is 2019, I rewatched Next Gen and DS9, but I was reluctant to go back and rewatch Star Trek Voyager. The premise of Voyager, in case you're uncertain, is that on its very first mission, it's swept into the Delta Quadrant by an alien known as the Caretaker. This is where this ends them up like 70,000 light years away from home, and it's going to take them about 75 years full steam to get back to the Alpha Quadrant. Now, before you get too nervous about that, in television time, that's only 7 years. So not so bad. I did always think it was odd that in the entire Star Trek franchise, the captain that gets lost is a woman. I mean, if we're going to go with the stereotype here, a woman would have asked directions and gotten everybody home by the end of the episode. Just me. I also remember being vaguely angry about the introduction of Jerry Ryan's character, Seven of Nine. You know, I thought it was a cheap ploy to attract fanboys to the show. It was, and it did, but they lost me. But this year, I decided to give Voyager another chance. And so there's a two-part episode in season 4 of Voyager called Year of Hell. And essentially, over the course of a year, they are constantly attacked by an alien species that has vastly superior weapons. The ship is destroyed. Many of the crew are injured and some are killed. And by the way, not just the red shirts. Now, ironically, I got to watch this two-part Year of Hell episode after New York City had been shut down due to the coronavirus. And it was becoming clear that we, the rest of the country, and the rest of the world were about to embark on our own personal year of hell. We've got COVID-19. We've got the pre-existing pandemic of racism, growing income inequality, the worst president in the history of history, climate change, because yeah, everybody remember that's still a thing, COVID-15, which is the 15 pounds that we're gaining by staying home and eating, some of us, and murder hornets. So yeah, 2020 has left me and perhaps some of you feeling a bit adrift and bereft personally, professionally, politically. And I gotta admit, it's hard because I thought, I hoped that this was going to be a better year. See, between 2018 and 2019, I had my own personal year of hell. I lost two uncles and an aunt. I lost two very good friends to cancer. And my dad, my original knight in shining armor, he died too. And so that was a lot of loss in a short amount of time. And so I turned to Star Trek. And so it hit home for me when Michael Burnham of Star Trek Discovery said, I thought there'd be more time. There isn't. I love you. I took comfort when Captain Jean-Luc Picard in the Inner Light episode said, live now. Make now always the most precious time. Now will never come again. And so when I got to Star Trek Voyager's Year of Hell episodes, it really resonated with me when Captain Catherine Janeway said, we're stronger as a team, one crew, one ship. The moment we split apart, we lose the ability to pool our talents. We become vulnerable. We'll get picked off one by one. Now I say we make our stand together. And isn't that where we are right now, dealing with this pandemic and the simultaneous call for racial and economic justice? I mean, to use another sci-fi reference, this is our Independence Day. This is our War of the Worlds. But it feels like our Twilight Zone. Like here in America, this feels like the worst episode of Black Mirror ever. Or, as Odo from Deep Space Nine reminds us, in times of trouble, some people find comfort in hate and fear. A lot of science fiction is dark and dystopian, and that's why I like Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek view of the future, you know, where human beings have advanced beyond disease and poverty and war and racism. The Next Generation Code of Honor episode notwithstanding, that was unfortunate. But I, in general, like the idea of a future where human beings engage in personal and intellectual development, and then we collectively bring that knowledge to bear on solving problems. You know, where we approach new challenges with curiosity instead of weaponry. And so, as hard as this may be, perhaps our collective year of hell is also our year of growth. As Commander Saru of Star Trek Discovery said, enduring something no one thought possible can be transformative. Perhaps feeling less like you were, you are more who you were meant to become. And so, in closing, as Catherine Janeway said in the Year of Hell episode, what's important is that we are together, working towards a single goal, survival. And if we can do that, maybe we can all survive this year of hell and live long and prosper. Thank you.
Perfect.